We're a mere days away from With Love Meghan holiday celebration premiering on Netflix, but we're not the only ones excited. Earlier this week, Vanity Fair pinned an article celebrating Meghan's beige Christmas, embracing the fact that Meghan is leaning into her signature neutral aesthetic. We've got a lot to get into, so let's get started. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you are good and full and ready for a good time as we gear up for the holiday season, starting with Love Meghan holiday celebration. Today, I'll be reading an article from Vanity Fair celebrating the fact that Meghan is going to lean into her neutral aesthetic, her signature at this point, for her holiday celebration. As far as the trailer is concerned, now they're only going on the With Love Meghan holiday celebration trailer, but we don't know what the rest of her aesthetic looks like, and we certainly won't know more until we get the show. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy the article. But before we do, if you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, feel free to share so that more people can find us. Once again, this article is in Vanity Fair, written by Aaron Vanderhoof. It's titled, Meghan Sussex is Dreaming of a Beige Christmas. In the run-up to her Netflix holiday special, the Duchess of Sussex still embraces her signature neutral aesthetic. Now, I have to say, I find it to be interesting that the cover photo for this article of them saying she's embracing her neutral beige aesthetic is these ornaments are gold, not beige, and Meghan is wearing red. Let's continue. Ralph Lauren Christmas, a term for the multicolored, maximalist, and cozy visuals that take over the windows at the brand's Manhattan flagship store every year, is trending on TikTok. But over in Montecito, Meghan Sussex is rebooting her signature beige aesthetic for the holidays. Earlier this month, Meghan released the holiday collection for her As Ever brand, and though the products contained some wintry flavors, including a cider mulling spice kit and sage-infused honey, they were all clad in the brand's signature beige packaging. The Duchess of Sussex is wearing similarly neutral shades in a new video of holiday hosting tips coming out just in time for Thanksgiving, including a step-by-step setup for a parfait buffet. In the clip, she fearlessly transfers raspberry jam from an as-ever jar to a vintage serving dish without getting a single spot on her cream-colored Gap separates. That was a feat. When I saw her do that, I was very impressed because I was low-key kind of holding my breath. I am just not that meticulous and just like I'm not that careful. It's those small moments like trying to transfer some sauces or what have you that I will spill it all over myself, and it almost seems like the more careful I'm trying to be, the more mistakes I make. Quote, "You don't need to stress to impress," the video's Instagram caption reads. In other recent ads for the company, she's seen hanging ornaments in another neutral toned outfit, an olive colored silk blouse and skirt from Argent. Meghan pairs the look with a Cartier Justin Clou necklace that she's been wearing since 2023 and her familiar Cartier Love bracelet. In other ads for the holiday collection, she's wearing the same necklace along with a burgundy Heidi Merritt dress, which the Daily Mail implies was a strike at critics who had pronounced her usual garb boring. I have to be honest, I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, I don't believe that Meghan thinks about those people. I don't think she thinks about criticism. I don't think she thinks about the people who don't like her. I don't think she thinks about being judged at all. I feel like she's just in this joyful, happy, free place of, I'm just going to live, so let me live. And I applaud her for that. But it is very clear she is not concerning herself with that at all. The Duchess isn't just jumping on the beige trend. She seems fully committed to the beige lifestyle. I'm wondering if beige is being used here as, I don't know, it almost feels like beige isn't exactly about the color. I'm going to keep reading and see if I get another vibe, but I don't know. Is beige being used here in another form? Is this a euphemism for something? Her commitment to neutrals also seems to signal that Meghan hopes her gift sets can continue to sell beyond the holiday season. A news release for her As Ever sparkling wine notes that this product is also the perfect choice for a graduation party. In a recent cover story with Harper's Bazaar, the Duchess spoke about her relationship with Prince Harry, saying that no one in the world loves me more than him. In accompanying photos, Meghan is dressed in black and cream, with one bright red dress tossed in for good measure. The Duchess also told writer Caitlin Greenidge that Harry's joyful personality has inspired her work over the last few years. Harry has this childlike wonder and playfulness. I was so drawn to that, and he brought that out in me, she said. That's translated into every part of our life. Even in business, I want us to play and have fun and explore and be creative. The couple's professional output takes on mainly shades of neutral, so we might just have to take Meghan's word for it when it comes to Harry's sense of awe. Again, this is another part of the article where it almost seems like beige and neutral are being used as euphemisms for something else. I'm not sure. It's almost leaning into feeling like a pejorative. I'm not sure, so I won't say. Let's get to the end of the article, but I'm starting to get a vibe because in what world does someone's playfulness and joyful, childlike joy and wonder have anything to do with a color? The way he behaves has nothing to do with a color. So it almost feels like she's using beige as a euphemism for boring or bland. That's the energy I'm getting. And Erin Vanderhoof typically writes pro-Sussex articles, but she has been known to toe the line. Let's get to the end of the article before I have an opinion, and then I will have an opinion. Perhaps we'll see a bit of that playfulness in her With Love Meghan holiday special, which premieres on Netflix December 3rd. Though the show's beige backdrop can still be found in a trailer that the streamer recently dropped, the preview also reveals that Meghan has broadened her color palette to include a few traditional holiday jewel tones, many apparently from her own closet. Again, here, having an aesthetic doesn't mean you don't wear anything outside of that aesthetic. It means you infuse things to look and feel the same way that you would want it to kind of have the same vibe necessarily. So it's a more broad term, but it doesn't mean she doesn't wear anything outside of beige. Meghan has been known to wear many beautiful colors. In one scene, the Duchess shares a kiss with Harry while wearing a navy t-shirt. Again, she's worn this t-shirt on With Love Meghan before. The key art for the episode shows her setting the table in a teal silk dress from London brand Galvin. The special will include segments with tennis star Naomi Osaka, restaurateurs Tom Colicchio and Will Guidara, and close friends Kelly Zaffin and Lindsay Roth, a writer who tapped Meghan as maid of honor for her 2016 wedding. The trailer also included a glimpse at a decorated mug that may provide some insight into how the Duchess will actually spend Christmas this year. The cream-colored vessel is inscribed with a letter to Santa, penned in Meghan's telltale handwriting and signed by Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. I saw that mug and it was very cute. Okay, so let me give my opinion on this. First of all, I'm excited about this. I can't wait to see. But I think it's so funny that the whole article is basically like, oh, Meghan is the queen of neutrals and she does the neutral aesthetic, etc., etc. Yeah, I love that she goes with the neutral aesthetic. I think it's beautiful. I think it's just very sophisticated and I think it's really tactful. I think it's easy to infuse other designs with it. So if you decorate for the holidays, if you have a neutral palette as far as your home decor, being able to put like decor that's specific to certain holidays throughout the year, it's easy to find things that kind of match and it can kind of elevate the environment without changing it completely or clashing. And so I like a neutral aesthetic. I have a neutral aesthetic, so I might be taking this a little personal, but I'll say this. Having an aesthetic doesn't mean you don't dress outside of that aesthetic. It doesn't mean that you don't venture out. And as someone as heavily photographed as Meghan, and as someone with such a wide-ranging sense of style as Meghan, and I'm not talking about just colors, I'm talking about style, I'm talking about pieces, I'm talking about designers, I'm talking about looks, I'm talking about her overall energy. She has a very, I won't say eclectic style, but she does have a very diverse style. You're not necessarily going to always know what she's going to wear. For example, Paris Fashion Week, that caught all of us by surprise. And it was still in line with her aesthetic, but it was completely different. So it's important to not box people in with these extremely narrow views of she has an aesthetic and that's the only thing she'll do. While she has a signature look and she wears signature pieces, I don't think any of us can ever really predict what Meghan is going to do next or how she's going to dress or what her decor will look like. We can have an idea, but I think we've learned a time or two that Meghan is known to pull a rabbit out of the hat. So I think it's important to just enjoy what we see rather than trying to control what we see. Also, I like Erin for the most part, but the way she was using neutral and beige almost started to feel like a pejorative. It almost started to feel like the absence of creativity versus a form of creativity. And those are completely different things. Meghan uses creams and neutrals and she uses that kind of neutral, natural, I kind of call it a breath of fresh air color palette. I think it feels like a breath of fresh air. And she likes the more natural colors. Mind you, you have to think about where Meghan lives. Meghan lives in Montecito. Her home has very natural tones to it as well. If you've ever seen her kitchen, it almost looks like it was built inside of a mountain or a cave. It is very beautiful. But it has lots of color, but they're all natural tones, and that's why they work so well together. Mind you, she also has a lot of windows and a lot of natural scenery. Even Harry said a lot of times they'll open the doors and windows so that they can feel those heavenly ocean breezes. So their home is very natural. They have lots of trees, lots of land, lots of grass. They have a garden, as we know. So as a whole, if you zoom out, it's not just an aesthetic. They have a very natural and kind of bare way of life. They don't necessarily do these loud, bright colors and patterns. And it's because they're embracing the beauty of what's natural. They're embracing the beauty of God's creation, as my grandma used to put it. And so it makes sense that with people who have so much natural sunlight, so many different views and angles of the natural world around them, from the ocean to the mountains, to the grass, to the trees, it makes sense that they wouldn't want their home decor to clash with that. They would want it to be in line with that so that they can take it all in. It would make sense that they would want to elevate that for the holidays and do something that makes sense for them in that way. So I don't see beige or neutral as a pejorative. It seems like it's being almost used that way here. I see it as a form of creativity, and I think they've done a wonderful job elevating that and showing us how it can be done in such a sophisticated way. Lastly, as far as Meghan's fashion, the fact that they're trying to make it seem like, oh, she wore burgundy because someone criticized her. First of all, Meghan has mentioned several times that green is one of her good luck colors. Their Sussex royal brand was blue. So it's like, even now, their Archewell.org and their Sussex.com, they have different shades: black, blue, beige, cream, white. Beige and cream are kind of the same. So it's not that they don't strike out or do anything else. I mean, when you manage a brand, you want brand consistency. Meghan isn't the only one who does that. I mean, you would look at Netflix and mostly they do black and red with other shades of things, but they're also going to always have a red color palette. It's their signature. As ever is a brand. So I feel like also there was this intermingling of Meghan as a person and her personal style versus her brand's aesthetic. Those are not the same things, although they are consistent and they're cohesive. Meghan's personal brand, she does like, neutral and natural tones, but as ever's branding is a neutral palette. So it makes sense for everything as ever related with Love Meghan related, since those are kind of operating in tandem. It makes sense for those to always be in their brand colors and in their brand fonts, because you want brand consistency. You want someone to be able to recognize a logo and before they even read it, say, oh, that's from As Ever, I can tell. That's the goal, is because you want to create consistency. You want people to be able to easily identify your brand and your products and your service and your programs. So she's doing what she's supposed to do. As far as her brand, I would hope that they would keep things aligned. It would make sense. And it's a beautiful, beautiful packaging, and it's a very beautiful aesthetic. So I like what they're doing. It's classic and sophisticated. It will never go out of style. It is not trendy. It is classic. And at this point in my life, that's actually what I lean into. And then as far as Meghan, you're talking about her wearing neutrals, and she's wearing a bright red skirt in the photo you used. So, okay, I don't know where Erin was coming from in this. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she does write so many pro-Sussex articles, and I'm just going to say maybe they didn't nail it with the tone. And I could just be being a little sensitive here because I'm so used to people trying to sneak jab Meghan, and I'm just kind of on P's and Q's. But I will say this. Her aesthetic is beautiful. I cannot wait to see With Love Meghan holiday celebration. If you don't even look at the holiday celebration, if you just watch With Love Meghan, you can kind of, I know they don't film it in her house, but you can kind of tell from her fashion. You can tell from how she decorates. You can tell from how she sets tables and things like that, what her look is, what her signatures are. And she is not just prone to one color. She might have an aesthetic, but you cannot box her in. Anyway, I look forward to With Love Meghan holiday celebration. I cannot wait to see what they do with all the tablescapes and the food and all. I'm ready for all of it. Are y'all excited for With Love Meghan holiday celebration? Let me know in the comment section below. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share so that more people can find us. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.